everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and today I'm going to talk you through all of the books that I bought in the month of September. So I know I keep saying I'm gonna cut down, and I actually think I did relatively well this month. There's a rather modest pile here for me to show you, and I'm very excited about all of them. So let's get started. The first book that I bought this month was Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. And I don't feel guilty at all about this because A, Wordsworth Classic Editions are incredibly affordable and they are designed to be incredibly affordable, which I love. And this is also for my Victober reading. So this fulfills the New to You book by a favorite author prompt, and it's also the group read. So I was thrilled to pick this up and I'm very much enjoying it. You can see I've just started, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting our main characters. I've met a lot of curates and a lot of side characters, but I have not met Shirley nor her friend yet, so I'm looking forward to meeting them. The next book I picked up was Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Yes, I have read this, but I, for a while, was convinced that you could not love Jane Austen and love Wuthering Heights because they are such polar opposites in terms of style. However, recently I rewatched the Intelligence Square debate about I believe it was the Queens of Literature or the Queens of 19th Century Literature. I'm not entirely sure, but it pitted Jane Austen against Emily Bronte. The scholar John Mullen, who I absolutely adore, argued for Jane Austen, and the author Kate Moss argued for Emily Bronte. And they had a cast of actors to help them perform various scenes from each novel to illustrate their various points. And three of those actors I know and love. They were Eleanor Tomlinson, who plays Demelza in Poldark, Mariah Gale, who I saw in a variety of Royal Shakespeare Company productions, including Hamlet with David Tennant, and the actor Dominic West of The Wire, among other things. That debate made me not only love Jane Austen more than I already do, but it made me love Wuthering Heights more than I thought I did, and made me realize that I could love both. So I thought it was time to get myself a proper copy of my own, which I now have. I will link that debate down below if any of you are interested in watching it. I highly recommend it. Next, I purchased myself a copy of the third book in the Pages & Co. series, which is Tilly and the Map of Stories by Anna James. I have the first two here on my shelves. So if you are unfamiliar, the first two are Tilly and the Book Wanderers and Tilly and the Lost Fairy Tales. This is the third in the series. I hope it's not the last. And at first, as you can tell, my first two copies are in paperback. And this was only available in hardback currently. And I thought, oh, I don't know. I'd really like all of my series to match. I know, I'm that petty. But I am so glad that I got this in hardback because yes, this front cover is beautiful, but when you take off the dust jacket, look at it. It's so beautiful and it continues all the way around. I'm in love. If you're unaware, this series follows Tilly, who lives in Pages & Company bookstore with her grandparents, because her parents have mysteriously disappeared. And soon she comes to realize that she and her family are book wanderers, meaning that they can step in and out of books. And there's a whole secret society to manage and train book wanderers. And she soon begins to realize that something might have gone wrong within this series and with book wandering, and that may be where her parents have gone. I can't tell you any more of what happens in the first two books, but I would highly recommend them. And this, I believe, is going to take us through a variety of libraries, including the Library of Congress in America and will feature A Midsummer Night's Dream heavily, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's one of my favorite plays. The next book I picked up is quite out of character for me, based on my typical reading taste, but I think you'll be convinced once I tell you about it. And it is Tomorrow Will Be a Good Day by Captain Tom Moore, which is his autobiography. If you're not aware, Captain Tom is a sweet little old man in England who, back in the spring, decided he wanted to do something to help the National Health Service since they were working so hard to fight COVID-19. And so he decided to walk lengths of his garden to help him recover after, I forget if he had broken something or had a hip replacement or surgery, but he needed to walk. So he thought he would walk laps of his garden in order to raise money for the NHS. And he thought, it'll be a modest affair, but I'll do my bit. He ended up raising millions of dollars for the NHS. He captured the hearts of everyone in Britain. And did I mention that he turned 100 a few weeks ago? And he was recently knighted by the Queen for all of the good works that he did so recently, which I believe has been her only public appearance since quarantine and the pandemic started, which goes to prove just how special a man he is. Allow me to read through this quote on the back of Captain Tom Moore's book, which I think sums up everything about him. Through a century filled with drama and great change, I've always looked on the bright side. I've lived through war and heartache, triumph and tragedy, and yet I'm still here, so I can only believe that tomorrow will be a good day. That is just the sort of hope we need right now. I have heard him interviewed on BBC Radio 2 many times. He is sweet and upbeat and just so positive that I cannot wait to read what words of wisdom he has for us in this autobiography. The last set of books I am very pleased by, if feel slightly sheepish about, which is this fabulous collection of Jane Austen's complete works from Wordsworth Classics. Yes, I already have her complete works in the Penguin cloth-bound books. I love my Penguin cloth-bound books. They are beautiful, they feel wonderful, they are designed beautifully, and they have all of the Jane Austen writing that I could ever want. However, they are so beautiful that I don't really want to travel with them, read them in hot weather, do anything that might damage them. So I found these thanks to For the Love of Classics channel, whose name is Risha, I will link her channel down below, who was reading Mansfield Park and showed us a look inside. And it was that really caught my eye. And I will take one out and show you why. So not only are Wordsworth Classics beautifully designed, if very simply, they are also designed to be incredibly affordable. So this entire set of 7 books was only about $30. And not only do they have wonderful text of the original novel, they also have the original Hugh Thompson illustrations. This particular illustration of Mr. Collins is my favorite. And all of them have the Hugh Thompson illustrations, so I cannot wait for Jane Austen July or A Good Snowy Day to reread one of these and have the added bonus of such lovely and whimsical illustrations. So I feel totally justified in buying myself this second set of Jane Austen works. So there you have it. Those are the books that I bought myself this month. Let me know down below if you have read any of them and loved them, or if you are intrigued by any of them and if I should move them up my list. Have I convinced you to buy some Wordsworth Classic editions? Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye everyone!